Good morning. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Upward Transitions, a Moment of Hope. My name is Carla Stinnett, and today we welcome Crystal Levine and Cynthia Brindley to our broadcast. Crystal Levine is the volunteer coordinator for Travelers Aid and offices at the Oklahoma City Will Rogers World Airport. Cynthia Brindley is a very special volunteer who we are excited to hear her perspective as we celebrate National Volunteer Week. To share a few words about volunteering, one of the more well-known benefits of volunteering is the impact on the community. Volunteering allows you to connect to your community and make it a better place. You can make a real difference to the lives of people, animals, and organizations in need. And volunteering helps you too. It can benefit you and your family as much as the cause you choose to help. Dedicating your time as a volunteer helps you make new friends, expand your network, and boost your social skills. So let's first start with Crystal. Please tell us about your job and the volunteer program you coordinate for Travelers Aid.
Sure. Thanks for having me this morning. So I'm the volunteer coordinator out at Will Rogers World Airport for our Travelers Aid program at Upward Transitions. So we've been out at the airport since 1973, but we've been around since 1925. So we're approaching our 100th birthday. We're super excited about that, and being out at the airport for 48 years, helping people out here, stranded travelers, answering questions, that type of thing. And I coordinate all the volunteers out here and manage the entire program. So our volunteers gave close to 5,000 hours fiscal year 2020, and that says a lot when we weren't even here past March. So they really give a lot of their time and their talents and their money. So they're really great to work with, and I just love it. And I think you'll find I'm passionate about volunteering, and I think everybody should volunteer somewhere.
Thank you. Well, Crystal, how many participants do you have out in your volunteer program?
We have about 65 volunteers right now that give their time. So we're always looking for new volunteers to join us. So if anyone's interested in volunteering, getting connected out here at the airport, it's the best people watching around. You get to help a lot of people, solve a lot of problems. It's really a lot of fun out here.
Great. And so your role is, what do you exactly do to help people join in with the volunteering engagement there at the airport?
Yeah, so I do all the onboard and the training out here at the airport. We don't just throw you in, so we give you lots of resources to answer the questions and do the training. I stay in touch. There's a lot, if you haven't been out to the airport recently, a lot of construction and changes going on, a lot of exciting things happening at the airport. We're getting an additional 4 gates, so I coordinate with all the stakeholders out here, a lot of partnerships out here at the airport with all the different businesses that we coordinate and work with to answer questions and to help visitors. A lot of times our volunteers are the first friendly interaction that someone will have with our city. So it's really the first impression, and they're great ambassadors, not only for Upward Transitions, but for the city of Oklahoma City and our surrounding area and attractions. So.
Yeah, and you've been doing this how long again?
I've been here for 4 years now, and before that time, I was actually volunteering before I even got the job. So I volunteered with Upward Transition. So and now I've had the role for about 4 years. So I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Terrific, terrific. So you brought a special volunteer with you today.
Yes.
As we celebrate our National Volunteer Week.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about who you brought with you today.
So this is Cynthia Brindley. She's been volunteering with us for about 7 years now. She's a retired teacher. You'll typically find her at the airport on Saturday mornings from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. From time to time, you won't find her there, but most Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2, she's helping people find the restroom or find something to eat or give directions, whatever it may be. And I always like to say we're offering hope out here at the airport. So that's what Cynthia, sometimes she catches people on their worst day and she just gives them a little bit of hope and watches their life happen out at the airport. So we're so glad to have her on that baggage claim level right across from baggage claim 4 at our information booth.
All right. Okay. Well, Cynthia, we would just love to welcome you to the broadcast today. And, we'd just like for you to maybe basically start out with sharing some of the reasons why you choose to volunteer.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for asking me. Um, well, I love to volunteer. It's so much fun, and it's always different. So you're having to be sort of on your toes, and sometimes you just have to say, I've never been asked that question before. Hang on, let me look it up. And you meet people from all over, and it's just fun. Basically, I love to do it. So.
And tell me, how long have you volunteered? Did you volunteer before you became engaged with the Traveler's Aid volunteer program? Were you volunteer before that?
I have been a volunteer for a long time. I volunteered in my church, at my children's schools, and then they're all grown and all over the country now. And I volunteered at Presbyterian Hospital in the nursery, way back when they let you hold the babies that were newborn. Yeah, that was so fun. And it was before I had children, so it was really a good way to get some experience in holding a newborn. And I've been a volunteer with I've been on the board of Oklahoma City Beautiful for, probably 25 years, maybe more than that. And I'm also a volunteer with the Tree Bank Foundation. And so it's in my blood, I guess. I love to do it. I love being an ambassador for Oklahoma City. I love just helping out in any way I can. And now that I'm retired, I have time, and it keeps me active.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what types of people do you meet when you volunteer out at the airport?
Oh boy, all kinds, but definitely. Sometimes people are kind of cranky. Traveling's difficult. Traveling's tiring, and they have just gotten. I'm on the baggage claim level, so they're looking for their bag. They want that bag to come right to them. They are ready to go to their hotel and get some peace and quiet. And so they're sort of they're sometimes a little on edge. And my job, I feel like, is to just say it's going to be okay. The bags will be here any minute. I did have a guy one time say, "You're going to have a riot on your hands if these bags don't come." And I'm like I have something to do with that. So, people are just sometimes kind of on edge. And I think it's our job to just say it's going to be okay. We'll get the bags as soon as possible. Whatever I can do. Would you like a little granola bars? I mean, anything that we can do that helps them, calms them down a little bit. But then on the other hand, I meet the most wonderful people. They're funny. They come up and they say, "I'm going to be in Oklahoma City for 3 days. I've never been here before. What do I do?" And then I show them all the brochures that we have that list all kinds of things to do in Oklahoma City. And that's where we come in as ambassadors and just really let them know that there is tons to do in Oklahoma City. The other thing they ask a lot about is, where should we eat? And you don't really want to say you have to go this place, because it might not be good that night, but I give them a range of ideas and then brochures to go with that.
So in all these different types of people that you meet, and so do you have one that comes to mind that's been maybe your most meaningful encounter that you've experienced there as volunteer?
We wear name tags. And anytime somebody says, "So your name's Cynthia, I want to thank you." Anytime, that's memorable to me. Anytime anybody says thank you.
Yeah. I know people traveling, and one of the aids that Traveler's Aid provides is if travelers become stranded. Have you worked with anybody before that has been a stranded traveler?
I did work with one person, but I don't often on Saturdays. I haven't really run into that as much. I have had one person that was looking for a bus, and so I got them to the bus, told them how to get to the bus station and things like that.
Yeah.
But and I have had people ask me for money, but
Yeah.
I just say, I don't have any money,
Yeah. So what was one of your funniest encounters that you've had?
This it was just kind of amazing to me because I hadn't been at the airport for very long. And this girl came out, a young girl came up and said, "What time does my brother's flight get in?" And I said, "Well, where's your brother coming from?" And she said, "Afghanistan." And I said, "Well, we don't really have a direct flight from Afghanistan. So you're going to have to find out where he's coming through somewhere." And they said, I don't know. And I said, "Well, what time does he come in?" Thinking that I could kind of narrow it down from all the flights. "I don't know." And I mean, this went on and on. She had no idea. She just knew her brother was coming. And so she said, "Well, I'll just pace back and forth." And that's what she did for the whole time I was at the desk. She just paced back and forth, waiting for possibly seeing her brother.
If she could spot him.
I left after my shift, so I don't know. I'm assuming she's not there anymore. So she found him. So, but that was kind of like, really, you're coming to meet your brother from Afghanistan, and you don't know where he's coming from, what his flight number is, she didn't know what airline he was coming on either.
Yeah,
it's like,
So you're encountering all kinds of different types of people that have different unique situations as far as what in their travels.
Yeah.
Have you by chance run across anybody famous, like coming through the airport?
Yes, I have. Barry Switzer, he's pretty famous around here.
Yes, he's famous.
He didn't come up to the desk, but I saw him walk right by me. And then Dennis Rodman in all his glory.
Yeah,
because he's got relatives here or something. And so he's a sight to behold. With all his piercings and tattoos and everything, it's amazing. But he met up with somebody, and then they walked past my desk and stuff. So he's really tall. And then Chelsea Handler, that was pretty recently. She performing downtown, and I had just said, which I sometimes do, if there's anybody who speaks Spanish, could you please come to the desk and help with a person? And and so she came up and she said, and she was there with the person, and she said, "Un poquito," and I'm like, "Well, I can say that."
I thought maybe she was going to be funny or something. Like
I don't know. She wasn't a whole lot of help. And then somebody else came, but it was interesting. She was. I could have touched her. I mean, she was right there. So I stayed there for a while until somebody came and did help this person. So she, it was, so that was fun. I didn't get her autograph or anything, but So,
well, cool. Well, so if you were going to give advice to someone about becoming a volunteer, what would your advice be, since you've had quite a bit of experience doing this throughout the years?
Run as fast as you can to sign up. I mean, it is
great.
So much fun. And you just meet people from all over the world. I met two guys that came from Scotland, and I said, "Just stand here and talk, will you please?" Because they're, it's never a dull moment. It is, you have to be creative because you have to think on your feet. You have to, and of course, Crystal she trains us so well, and we have these stacked folders that have everything that you would ever possibly need to know about the airport. In fact, just this past Saturday, I had somebody call me and say, "We're coming to the airport in an RV. How tall are the parking garages?" Well, I didn't know it off the top of my head, but I knew where to look, and I found out the information. And so it's just so fun. It's like, why not?
Well, we love it that you participate in volunteering in our community, and I know Oklahoma City is the better for it. And we just want to thank you so much for being making that commitment to volunteer and help our community out and help people. I know you've touched so many lives throughout the years of while you've been volunteering for different organizations. But I just wanted to come back to you, Crystal, for just a minute and tell us a little bit about how people can sign up or where they can contact you, or how do they become engaged with Travelers Aid to become a volunteer at the airport?
Sure. The best way is upwardtransitions.org. We have a fabulous website. You can go there. There's a volunteer application. You can connect with me that way. Also on flyokc.com, there's an application there as well that goes directly to me, and I will immediately reach out and get with you, and we'll meet and do a short interview, and we do a few days of training, and we're super flexible. Most of our volunteers work a few hours, repeating shift each week. So email me, check out our website. We'd love to have you join our volunteer family. It's a lot of fun. Like Cynthia said, it's never a dull moment.
All right. Well, I just wanted to thank you both for joining us today. And I know our community appreciates both of your commitments to helping others and making a difference in so many lives. So I just wanted to make one more little tidbit of remembrance in regards to volunteering, that our children watch everything you do. So by giving back to the community, you'll show them firsthand how volunteering makes a difference and how good it feels to help other people and animals. It's also a valuable way for you to get to know organizations in the community and find resources and activities for your children. I just want to say thank you again to Crystal Levine and Cynthia Brindley for joining us today as we celebrate National Volunteer Week. Thanks again, and we appreciate everyone for joining with us today. See you next time.